Friends, how we doing? Wow, got a lot of people in here. Let's see. We got we got Alexis, we got Michelle, we got Dee, we got Denise, we got Jana, we got Ash, we got Debbie loving vapes 70. Okay, Debbie loves those vapes. All right, Dallas, Texas. Yeah, well, bummer you don't like the music. Don't listen to it. What's up, Misdemeanor? How we doing, Rhonda? Cheryl, Boston hippie. What's up, girl? Kim. Wow. All right. So, guys, uh, pretty wild week, huh? Uh, I have I've been a little busy here on YouTube. It looks like. What's up, Doodlebug? What's up, Gina? Yeah, I've been a little busy here on YouTube. I've made a few new friends. I could see here in the chat. Welcome, welcome everybody. Everybody new, and of course everybody who's been with me from the start here. Appreciate you. Um, I hope you enjoy. Everybody new. I hope you enjoy what's gonna go down tonight. I'm just gonna talk, let you guys get to know me a little bit. What's up, Casey? Um, yeah, we're gonna. What's up, Mignon? Yo, Mignon, did you figure out how to cut down? I need you to do that for me, please, please, please. If you can cut down that link for Mandy's petition and blast this chat with it, that would be fantastic. I want my mods tonight to absolutely set this chat on fire with that petition, and I want you guys to do that until I am convinced that it is futile to do so. We need this dude charged. I'm not going to go into that too much tonight. I'm not going to talk about it too much tonight. But I am going to let you know what the petition is for, and please, anybody who has not signed the petition to get justice for Mandy Gorsuch, please do so tonight. It's very, very, very important to me. It's very, very important to her family, especially, and her friends. And I think anybody here coming from the true crime community can appreciate as to why I am hell bent on getting as many signatures for this petition as I can. So, what's up, Debbie? Welcome. Okay, Vancouver. And I recognize a lot of you from the other channels that I was on uh, this week. I had a lot of fun, man. It was a wild week, man. I was I was on a panel with Science Girl. Her channel's called My Life, My Story, and she was on there, and I think uh, Laura Keck was on there, and Molly Go Lightly was on there, and that was an interesting experience, man. 'Cause I was seriously, dude, I was just trying to go on there, just to talk about. I was just trying to go on there to talk about some exercise and dieting stuff with because that was the title of her live, My Life, My Story, aka Science Girl. That was the title her of her live was like, or no carbs, and had like Michelle Rodriguez, I think it was, like flexing a muscle in the pic and everything. And I was like, all right, you know, she's talking my language. I got, maybe we can exchange a little information. And and she and then it turned into a discussion about Oni. which was absolutely necessary. And and then last night I was on a panel with Jay on her 411 channel. What's the 411 with Jay? And uh, we're not even gonna talk about that. We're not even gonna talk about that. We're not even gonna talk about that, Casey. Not tonight. It's not gonna happen. Um, so I yeah, man. And I'm a John Crimes fan. You know, like if you guys have seen his videos, he's extremely talented. And I got to just kind of kick back and shoot the shit with him and Jay for a few hours, man, and it felt very very natural. I'm already I've made good friends with Jay, and I'm very very proud of this new friendship I have with Jay. And hanging out with John, man, that was it was very very cool. Um, and it felt just as natural talking and kicking it with him as it did with as it always does with Jay, and I really enjoyed myself. And I'm grateful to these other channels um, so much. I want to publicly thank these other channels and Diane's channel too. Diane's channel was just, her chat was hot. Her mods were hot, dropping the link to my channel, and I can't express enough gratitude to these other creators for showing me support. And um and so just really hope that all you new subscribers enjoy the channel. I'm gonna do my best to warm up to you, and I'm gonna have some fun. So I hope you guys have some fun too. Um, I there's some of the stuff that we talked about. I'm gonna talk about a bit tonight because it ties in a lot to what I like to do on here, and why uh, my uh, diehard listeners log on here and listen. And um, and yeah, I think there's definitely some touch on here, and I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. I'm just gonna kind of go over some of the stuff that we talked about, but uh, the grassroots of that stuff, man, it's pretty wild. Um, I mean, we're all. I don't think. I think it's a little redundant to sit here and go over all the stuff that Oni did. Um, and we're all, I'm pretty sure, in quite agreement, uh, except for a couple people who have proven that their opinions just don't even really make sense. So if your opinions don't make sense to me, they're not really going to matter much to me either. So uh, sorry, but but I think we can all agree that what Oni did was unspeakable. It was unthinkable, and stuff just keeps coming out of the woodwork. Stuff just keeps coming out of the woodwork with this guy, and I'm sitting here just blown away, listening to people who considered him a close friend, and people who I have made new friends with, and it's kind of crazy. I'm really happy that I made these new friends. I'm very very grateful for my new friends, but I'm also very sad that it had to happen under these circumstances. Um, it's kind of like when I lived in South Florida. Uh, you know, you got all these neighbors that you never fucking talk to. You never fucking talk to these neighbors, but as soon as a hurricane hits, everybody's best friends. Everybody's pulling together. Everybody's doing what they got to do. And I really hope I want to see what we can actually do with these with these new associations. and I apologize. I know I'm going to be buffering a little bit. I still have not worked out the kinks as to far as to why this keeps happening, um, but hopefully I'm not going to get too much interference. Um, but I do apologize in advance if you guys are experiencing some buffering on my end. It's not you, it's me most likely. So I do apologize for that. But yeah, it's I don't want that to happen here. Since we came together, since these creators and these subscribers have all come together under these harsh circumstances, uh, I say we make the best of it. Let's make the best of it. Let's do the best we can to build something off of that. Let's keep this foundation positive and build something off that. And I'm really excited that we can do that. Um, Thank you, Mignon, for dropping that link. I want you to keep dropping that. I mean, every every couple minutes, I want you to be dropping that link to that petition. If you haven't signed that, guys, please sign it. And real quick, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what the petition is for. And the petition is in order to bring justice to the family of Mandy Gorsuch, who was uh, killed in Run uh, by a man. Well, I use that term loosely. I use the word man very loosely in describing this person. I even use the term person very usually loosely in describing him. So, what's up, Irish? Uh, so I but his name is Zachary Simmons, and he ran Mandy over with a truck after a verbal altercation outside of a bar in Oklahoma, and witnesses even saw him get out of his truck, look at her, and look to see if he had any damage to his truck, and get in and drive off. This man wasn't even arrested until 24 hours later, and he was only charged with fleeing the scene of an accident involving a fatality. And that is a bullshit charge considering everything that happened. Not even drunk driving, not even manslaughter, nothing. And so this petition is to get the attention of the the justice system there in that particular county in Oklahoma to make sure that charges are brought up against this man. So if I really hope that's. I'm not asking for any money. I'm not asking for anything like that right now. All I'm asking for is simply a couple of seconds out of your time to click on that link and just sign the petition. Just it's an electronic signature. You just boom, hit a button, and that's it. So it's really not a whole lot of trouble for you to do so. I hope it's not too much trouble for you to do so. So please. Um, and as I'm gonna have my moderators keep dropping that link throughout this broadcast. Um, and real quick before I continue, I don't know how many of you guys were there. I know a few of you. I see a few familiar names, a few familiar handles that were just in DWAP's live. And first of all, that that live was fucking fire, straight up. I mean, DWAP just he does not cease to to uh, to inspire. He does not cease to shine. And Dad with the phone, man, you're killing it, dude. And I absolutely love uh, I love how big your heart is. If you can hear this, I love how big your heart is, and I love how you handled this case and your dedication to it. And I think on behalf of everybody, we thank you for your dedication to finding, to making people aware of this case, all the sacrifices that you've made in order to get all the information that you have and keep us informed on all of this. Um, and 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 you said some beautiful things about Kelsey, and it really touched my heart, and I think it touched a lot of people's hearts here. So thank you for that, and thank you for showing your true self. Um, and I could see how emotional you were, and I think that uh, I know how that made me feel, and I know that and I could see how beautiful your heart is, and I'm proud to be associated with you, and I'm a proud subscriber as well. So and yo, the quote on the internet for the week is the sheriff fed me sausages and the police fed me pancakes. Dio fucking killed me, man. I'm serious, man. That live, yo, I laughed, I cried. It was, it was absolutely beautiful. It was fantastic. So yeah, man. I absolutely fucking had a great time, and I had a great time on everybody else's channels this week. And like I said, I wish it weren't under these circumstances. Um, but I'm glad that we all know each other, and we all seem to be on the same page as far as how we want to go into 2020 as a true crime community, and even as a drama community. I'm not big on the drama, but I'm starting to understand it a little bit more. I'm starting to understand the appeal a bit. I'm getting it. It's not really my thing, but I'm getting the appeal to it, and I think a lot of the negative drama that's been going on. I think we're as a community, we're coming together to weed out the poison, to reject the poison from our body that is this community. Um, and it's going to take a little dry heaving, a little vomiting, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Uh, we're going to do it, and we're going to avoid infection. And if a little part of this body gets gets nasty and infected, then what do? We amputate that motherfucker. And that's what's happening with Oni. And I'm very, very, very happy to get to be a part of that and get to see that, because um, this guy not only fucked over creators in this community, but he also fucked over his own subscribers, and he stole from them, and not just money. He stole people's trust, and he took advantage of their kind hearts. And when you take advantage of someone's kind heart, you're taking a little piece of them. You're taking a little bit of a little piece of their ability to trust and have faith in their fellow person, their neighbor. And for you to do that makes you a piece of shit. Now, you may not be permanently a piece of shit, but you need to look in the mirror and realize that you are a piece of shit and start making some changes. Start taking some inventory of your life and start making some changes. Nah, Rhonda, he's not the herpes of YouTube, because herpes is curable, or incurable. This situation is curable. This situation is curable. What's up, Pookie T? Star set? Um, yeah, so this is where we're at right now. This is where I'm at right now, and I am completely and totally fucking fired up after seeing everybody pull together and have the same interest. This dude, this dude better get a lawyer. I mean, cause you don't do some shit like that in a community that is dedicated to true crime. Like, This is a community full of people who simply for fucking fun, for fucking fun, we gather facts and evidence. That's what we do. We gather facts and evidence for fun. It's a hobby for everybody here. So this fool fucked up. This fool fucked up. So man, yeah, I'm I'm still kind of blown away by all of it. Um, and uh, what I wanted to talk about, what I wanted to talk about mostly was um, what broke my heart was the biggest thing that broke my heart was how much there are people who I got to know a little bit this week and how much they were affected by this. And the saddest part was because they trusted this person so much. And I heard a lot of the same thing. I heard a pattern. I heard a pattern. Everybody everybody had their own experiences, but they were kind of telling the same story when it involved Oni. They were kind of all telling the same story, right or wrong, right? I mean, everybody kept saying the same story pretty much, that he took advantage of their trust. He lied to them. He manipulated them. He trash talked other people to them, people that he considered their friends. But here's the thing, everybody, somehow or another, these good people allowed themselves to be taken advantage of. Now, this is it. I want to be very clear here. I'm not putting the blame on anybody but Oni for his actions. I want to be abundantly clear about the fact that I am not putting the blame on anybody but Oni for his actions. But I do believe, yes, I do believe that this these these wonderful people had a choice to not let this person as close to them as they did. But I want to be very, very clear about something. I don't think that that was. I don't think that was gullibility. That's not what I. I don't think that that was coming from a place of gullibility from these people, from these good-hearted people. None of that was coming from a place of gullibility. These were people who have a particular faith in their neighbor, in their fellow creator on YouTube, in someone that they trusted. They would go on their channel and give them praise, give them money. Oh yeah, yeah, Alexis. Yeah, make no mistake, Pookie's always in my pocket. Pookie is forever in my pocket. Pookie is forever in my pocket. Um, but you, yeah, this. Here's the thing, man. I want to commend. I want to commend all of these good-hearted people for and because this is the thing, this is what breaks my heart, is right now these good-hearted people are kicking themselves in the ass. They're sitting there beating themselves up. I'm talking about Jay. I'm talking about John. I'm talking about Science Girl. I'm talking about Marissa. I'm talking about all these different people. I'm talking about Pookie. I'm talking about all the other subs that gave this motherfucker money. All of these people are sitting there kicking themselves in the ass. Like, how could I be so stupid? But let me tell you something. That's not that's not where you're at right now. That's not where you're at right now. And that's not what you should be focused on. I'm here to tell you, you did a beautiful thing. You had faith in somebody who convinced you that nobody else would have faith in them. And you had a you weren't coming from a place of, hey, uh, this person, this, you know, you weren't coming from a place of necessarily charity. You were coming from a place of and you weren't coming from a place of being fooled necessarily. Everybody knows. I mean, everyone knows that if you are talking to somebody and you're associated with somebody and you see certain behavior that's making you angry about them, they're probably poisonous. They're probably poisonous. But you want to know for yourself. You're willing to put yourself on the line. You're willing to put your cock on the block when it comes to being friends with this person just to find out. That's called having faith in somebody. That's called not compromising your personal beliefs and faith in humanity. So instead of beating yourself up, I'm patting you on the back. I'm giving you a high five. And my man Robbie's in the house too. Robbie. Yeah, like take my man Robbie for instance right now. Take my man Robbie for instance right now. Robbie's dealing with some shit right now. He's made it abundantly clear he's got somebody poisonous in his life. Somebody who has proven at this point beyond a doubt, beyond a reasonable doubt, that they are nothing but toxic for him. But yet he continues to plead with this person and say, hey, please, all I'm asking is that you leave me alone. I don't hate you. I don't have anything necessarily against you. I don't have a grudge against you. I just want our relationship to have been concluded. That's not too much to ask. But yet this person doesn't seem to get it. Now, my personal opinion, without getting too deep into Robbie's business, I think he should just, at this point, just block her. Just block her. Because it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly where if he doesn't just block her and decide, hey, I don't want this person in my life anymore, and that's it, decide for himself. Because right now what he's doing is also commendable. He's giving her the chance to express some integrity. He's giving her the opportunity to express some integrity. He doesn't want to have to resort to blocking her. He doesn't want to have to resort to muting her on his channel. He doesn't want to have to get to that point. He wants to give her the opportunity to have some dignity and to have some integrity and do it herself and just respect that. He doesn't want to have to resort to having to block somebody. I don't like blocking people. Shit, I may have blocked maybe one, maybe two people in the entire time that I've ever been on social media. I mean, much less on YouTube. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't like blocking people, but you better fucking believe I will. So, you have these wonderful people who all they're guilty of is a failure of setting a particular boundary because they wanted to give this person a chance to shine and be good people and be good friends. So, that just bums me out. That makes me feel for them. That makes me feel for them because I don't want Robbie to get to a point to where he has to get ugly and then what has he done? He's compromised his own character simply because this person won't respect his wishes. And I don't want to see Robbie get to that point. There's no lack of dignity or integrity or no subtraction of your character and who you are as a person by removing someone toxic from your life. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that person is generally toxic. They might just be toxic to you. They might be toxic for you. Yeah, Robbie, I know it's been a bad month, man, and I've been watching, man. I'm watching, if I wake up in time, I drop in, I say hello, and I listen for a little bit, and it's the same fucking shit, and I don't want to see you, man. Yo, you've left a really really positive impression on me. I could tell you're a person with a really good heart and a really big heart, and you're at peace with the type of person that you are. You have spent a lot of time self-reflecting and finding out the type of person that you want to be and the type of light that you want to express. It's very very apparent and it's very very respectable. But at this point, if you want my personal opinion, it is okay. It is absolutely more than okay at this point to to remove this toxicity from your life. You gave it all you could. When you get to a point to where you're just repeating yourself and your association with this person, what it does is it brings anger out in you, frustration, anxiety. That person's toxic for you, especially when they don't make any effort or any they don't show any interest in being something positive in your life, in complementing your environment. They don't seem to have any interest in doing so. Part of complementing your own environment, part of creating an environment for yourself, in my personal opinion, part of creating a beautiful environment for myself is making sure that the people within my environment complement it. And I only do so by complementing theirs as best as I can. That's the only thing that I can do, is try to complement each person that's in my environment. I try to complement their environment as best as I can, their perimeter. I Yeah, man. I I'm a very very firm believer that what you put out attracts similarity to what you put out. Ever since I've and for you new subscribers, let me explain to you what the glarer is. The glarer is it's obviously the name of this channel. Um, People call me that because I show up on other channels, and that's the name of my channel, so it's all good. But my name's Will. You can call me the glarer Will. At this point, it doesn't matter. But GLARER is actually an acronym that stands for uh, roughly gratitude, logic, awareness, rationality, empathy, and resilience. Now, there are other A's that I've thrown in there during my learning experience, during my little journey of trying to apply these principles to every part of my decision making. So uh, I believe the A's are awareness, accountability, acceptance, adaptation, and there's one more. Um, uh, Awareness, acceptance, accountability, adaptation, and I don't know. That might be it. If I think of it later, then I will. But I definitely try to apply these things in my everyday decision making. And ever since I've done that, uh, my life has genuinely improved. Not on a financial level, granted, which is okay, which is more than okay with me. What it's done is allowed me to be happy despite a lack of material things. I'm discovering things that are much more valuable than anything else, and than any of those things, and I'm finding uh, a lot of happiness in simply just trying to be a better person as best as I can. Um, so, uh, authenticity should be up there. I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna add that, Sleuth. Thank you. It's not, but it is now. So thank you for that. Authenticity is absolutely important. I definitely try to exude authenticity at all times, um, and that's fantastic that you put that way, Sleuths. Um, and on this channel, I'm not necessarily trying to tell people to do it. What I'm doing is uh, I made the decision to do this after living my life in a very different way. And once I started doing this, my life has changed. My outlook on things have changed drastically. And I my outlook on things has absolutely changed drastically. And ever since my perception has changed, my emotions have improved. My mentality has improved. Um, and it's a great feeling. So I decided to go on here and talk about it. And that's what you're gonna get. I'm just gonna talk about that stuff and the stuff that I learn and the things that I ponder on, with this pattern of thinking that I've set for myself, with these guidelines that I've set for myself. And I like the idea of sharing it with other people, and if it inspires you, then even better, you know. And if it just simply entertains you, then that's fucking awesome too. That's absolutely awesome. Um, but uh, but yeah. Um, so again, welcome, and I'm really glad that everybody's here, and I really hope that you enjoy it. Um, but I uh, I was really blown away. I was really blown away by because you've heard me talk about it on this channel. The people that have been here for a while, um, you've heard me talk about it on this channel a lot. How disappointed that I am in the true crime community, and the direction that it's been taking. And it really made me kind of lose faith and lose interest in it, because it started to depress me a lot, because I went from seeing it as a platform that could really make a difference to just people bickering at each other, and seeing the drama community really spill over into the true crime community, and I feel like it really tainted it. uh, and and but what's awesome is, I think, seeing that myself, making that observation, the creators, the true crime creators that truly take pride in what they do, they're seeing it too, and they're ready to start making positive changes in the community. And it also took somebody like Oni's punk ass to come in here and fuck with everybody to bring us all together to make sure that shit doesn't happen within our community. And it's really important, and this is something that affects us all. um so uh so I'm extraordinarily grateful. I'm extraordinarily grateful for uh for the things that I've learned this week, and the things that I've gotten to observe and experience this week. The interactions that I've had, because some of these people I've only kind of watched here and there, and I haven't really followed. But having sat on a panel with them and speaking to them, I got a really positive experience out of it. I'm stoked to know John Crimes right now. I'm I'm stoked to know John Crimes. Like, I can't wait to see what uh, if there can be a very creative dynamic between the two of us to help make some sort of difference. and see if we can inspire people to make a difference as well. Because I find him to be uh, a very inspiring figure. He's a very wise figure and a very inspiring figure, and he's a very emotional figure, a very emotional person too. And all that tells me is that he has a very very big heart. Um, and talking with him last night, I sensed a lot of frustration that he has with the things that he's experienced in this community, and he's ready to make some big changes as far as that goes. And I'm on board to to take that journey with him as much as he would like me to be. So I'm super excited about that. And Jay, of course, I can't say enough good things about Jay, and and how she's handled this situation with Oni, and the things that she's going through these during these holidays, and uh, it's yeah, I just really want Jay to come out. I'm rooting for Jay to just completely come out on top on all this, because she's had nothing but a a fantastic attitude through it all. Very calm, very poised, very, you know, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Um, and yeah, Alexis, that was funny. I mean, that's the thing is John. Yeah, John. That was kind of adorable. John passing out on that live last night, but that was like. The thing was, when you put the camera on himself, I mean, you see he's got a dog next to him, a big beautiful dog, which I live with huskies too, and huskies are they're a lot of work and a lot of attention, and they're very loving, but you got to love them back. And he's got a little 3-year-old girl next to him, little beautiful 3-year-old girl, and I'm sure that he spent his entire day, you know, making their day fantastic. So my man was out. He was drained. But yeah, man. Uh, it's pretty crazy, man. Pretty crazy stuff. So I truly genuinely believe, man, that when you have this negativity in your life, um, it gets to a point to where it's absolutely okay to, I feel, in my experience, in my personal experience, and it's not, you're not cheating. Before I say this, I want to be clear. I don't think that it's cheating yourself out of getting close to somebody. You could get close to somebody. I still get close to people. You know, I just kind of prepare myself. Uh, and I don't. That's a pessimistic way of putting it, but because it's not accurate. Um, so let me try to think of the best way to put this. I I I I'm just you know I learned that it's okay. I make it okay for me. Like if I decide to put myself in a position, I take accountability for the fact that I let somebody in my life who could be very toxic, and then if something happens and they take advantage of that somehow, um, I can still take pride. Instead of getting angry, I'd rather take pride in the fact that I had faith in that person. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if, and probably a lot of people aren't going to agree with that, um, that's just the way that I think, man. I don't, man. First of all, whatever the fuck this is, man. Whatever this is, whatever. I mean, I know scientifically it is electricity. I know that. It is electricity that runs my body, that sends thoughts from my brains to my body, that creates thoughts and manifests my thoughts into reality. That is technically and physically, scientifically, that is defined as electricity. It's absolutely true. That is energy. So I choose to believe that my energy, my electricity, my fire can be used for something a lot more productive than fear. It can be used for something a lot more productive and a lot brighter and a lot more beautiful than fear and then uh, and holding grudges. Kind of, it's a fucking waste. It's a waste. It's a waste. So I'd rather just take that energy away from that person. Okay, you're not, because that, my energy, I take pride in who I am, and I take pride in what my energy is capable of. So if I offer you that energy and you misspend it, because it's a currency, it's absolutely a currency, and I give that to you and you misuse it, you misspend it, well, then I'm just going to not give it to you. I'm going to cut you off from it. But I'm not going to continue giving you that energy because at the end of the day, if it's negative energy, I'm still giving you what you want if you're a toxic person. Because that's all you're trying to get out of me. You're trying to get that. You're just trying to suck that energy from me. And you'll take it if it's negative. You'll take it. It's even better for you if it's negative. If you're a toxic person, it's even better for you if it's negative. I'm not going to give you that. I'm sorry. I don't have it for you. I just don't have it for you. There's somebody else over here that I'd rather give it to. It's nothing. It's not even. I don't have nothing for you. That's the best way I could put it. That's the best way I could put it. There's somebody right over here that I'd rather put that towards. So, you know, and man, it's dope when it's somebody who can really. Uh, it's dope when it could really. Now let's take this for instance. Let's take what's going on in my chat right now, for instance, because I'm glad this is happening. Because see, I look at these things as a blessing. I look at these things as a blessing, as an opportunity, so to speak. See this? So what I want to do, I want to try an experiment. I want to try an experiment. There's somebody in this chat right now that's doing everything they can to disrupt it, right? Can we all agree on that? Somebody in this chat that's doing everything they can to try to disrupt it, whether they know it or not, but that's exactly what they're doing, and we all know that that's what they're doing. So so that I don't have to get my mods in on it and I don't have to do it myself, I don't have to silence them and I don't have to boot them, right? Because that's the easy way. That's the easy way. I want you all to join me in a little experiment, right? Just blow her off. No matter what she says, don't pay attention to the comments. I haven't read one comment from this person. I'm looking at the chat, but I haven't read one comment from this person. All I'm looking at is the reactions. I'm looking at the reactions. So every single person in this chat is contributing to the distraction. And your hearts are in the right place, but what you're doing is contributing to that distraction. So what I want everybody to do, stop contributing to the distraction. Let's have a good time. Let that person sit there all quiet, all by themselves, with nothing but their dumb little comments. Just let them have that. Let them have that. Because you're giving them that energy. You're giving them that energy that I'm telling you that I choose not to give them. And you notice I'm not addressing them. I'm 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 focusing on you guys. I'm focusing on all of you. You're what I give a shit about. You're what matter to me right now. Every single person in this chat that is enjoying what I'm talking about and is relating to what I'm talking about, every single person, that's who I'm concerned with. And we have absolute control. Each one of us has absolute control over what we spend our energy on. And I'm not going to give it to them. I'd rather focus on this, man, because we got something dope going on right now. I've never had this many people in my chat right now. I've never had this many people in my chat right now. And so I'm celebrating that. I'm celebrating that. So I had, yeah, man, I had a dope time uh, kicking it with kicking it with Science Girl and Molly Go Lightly, and they were they we had a good conversation, you know. Um, we had a good conversation, but last night, man, last night I was just touched by, I was touched by by the energy that I was feeling between me and Jay and John. We were having a nice exchange. It was dope. It was very giving from all directions. It was very giving from all directions, and everybody in the chat picked up on it. So it was giving from there too. And this is, you know, this is fantastic, this interaction that we all have with each other. I mean, I could record videos. I could record videos and just put them up, but that's that's not what makes this fun. What makes this fun is interacting with you guys. That's what makes this fun. I absolutely fucking love it. I fucking love it. So, um, so for those of you who are just now understanding what the glarer is, um, please feel free to email me. Mods, keep dropping that email for me, please. Mignon Irish, keep dropping that email for me in the chat, and keep dropping that petition. If you guys haven't signed that petition, please. Like I said, until I am satisfied, I'm not satisfied, because I'm not going to be satisfied, but until I am convinced, until I am absolutely convinced that it gets to a point that it's futile to share that petition, I'm lighting my chat on fire with. I want my mods lighting my chat on fire with that petition. Um, so please take a minute and sign it. Um, please take a minute and sign it. It's not a lot. And it's I'm it excites the hell out of me that we can all have this. Um, it excites the hell out of me that we can all, that we have this platform where we can all actually make a difference. Mignon dropped it. Didn't Mignon Irish? Didn't Mignon like didn't you guys share it with each other or what? And Mignon left. Fuck. All right. We're gonna get on top of this. I mean, not right now, but the next time we go live, I want to have this kink worked out, please, because this is extremely important. Um, yeah, but yeah, Irish, you could drop the email link, and it's also plastered across the screen there. So please, if there's even the smallest weird situation that you're experiencing that you think that would make an interesting, that you think the perspective of applying these principles in the glare would be an interesting thing to talk about, please share it, email it to me, and I want to talk about it with you guys. You know, and yeah, I also have my Facebook group by the same name, same picture. So please join the group. Absolutely join the group. Um, and you're all welcome. Everybody's welcome. I don't deny anybody. I have yet to boot anybody out, and I'm sure if the group gets bigger and bigger, I'm sure I'm going to get a troll here and there. But I like dealing with trolls. I like dealing with trolls. So let's see. I'm gonna look over the chat a little bit here, guys. Yeah, Space Monster. I think I yeah, I was listening to you on Robbie's live, and I was really enjoying that. Um, I was really enjoying that. Um, yeah, I think we're gonna have a lot to talk about because Robbie, there was the one of these days. You know what I'd like to do? One of these days, I'm gonna figure out Streamyard. Uh, I'm gonna figure out Streamyard. And one of these days, I'd like to have you on, Robbie, on my channel, and we're going to discuss a little bit of theology. Because I think you would be a great person to discuss that with, because I can already tell that it would be a very insightful conversation as opposed to a debate, because I'm not looking to debate anybody on it. Uh, I think that we have some similar views. The person that you were with on or was on your live the other day that you were discussing this stuff with, she seemed like a really nice lady. I didn't agree with some of the things she was saying, um, but uh, but I but I could tell that she was coming from a very lovely place. So I'm not trying to criticize her in any way whatsoever, not at all. And I'm going to take a second to make an observation. I'm going to take a second to make an observation and make a point. You guys remember a few minutes ago when I said to stop feeding that person energy? Guess who hasn't dropped a comment in quite a few minutes? So I know that I'm onto something here, and I know this method works. This is a method that works for me all the time, and all it does is bring me happiness. So this is a fun place, man. This is gonna be fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun here, guys. And yeah, you're gonna hear me get fired up about a few things. You can hear me get fired up about a few things. Michelle, okay, that's a good question. My son is 19 years old. I have a 19-year-old son. I do not live with him currently, but we're still close. We still keep in touch and talk, and he's my boy. He's my boy. He always has been my boy. I'll tell you a little story. Um, when my when his mom was pregnant with him, I knew that she was pregnant with him before she did. This is a true story. This is an absolutely 100% true story. And not only did I know it, when I say I know it, I mean it in the truest sense of the word. I knew it. It wasn't like I suspected. I didn't suspect that she was pregnant. I just knew it. I knew it by looking at her. I knew it by feeling her. I knew it by 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 talking with her and interacting with her. And we didn't get along, man. Me and man, we've had a very poisonous association, her and I. Um, and and we no longer talk. We both it feels like now we respect each other. We set boundaries for each other, and now we respect them, and I'm very grateful for that. We just know that we're oil and water doesn't even begin to describe that, and I'm sure there's a lot of people listening that can relate. Uh, but this was but yeah, I knew, man. I just remember. I mean, we were arguing, and uh, and we argued a lot. Her and I argued a lot. We're talking almost 20 years ago, and when this was going on, and you can imagine I was a very different person 20 years ago. So we argued a lot, her and and I remember we were having this argument, and And then I just stopped and I looked at her and I go, you're pregnant. And then and it's almost like she kind of knew it too. She just didn't want to, like, you know what I mean? I'm sure, a woman knows, even if they don't know that they know they know. I don't know what it's like to be a woman, but I'm assuming that that's the case. I'm just assuming that that's the case. And I just looked at her and I knew it. She just had there was a different way about her that I could not, that I can't even begin to explain. I was just like, you're pregnant. I knew it was a boy. You know, I knew it was a boy. I just knew it. I went out. I told her, I said, you're pregnant. Argument stopped right then and there. She was like, no, no. And she was like, but she could tell how serious I was, and it was almost like, she was, it wasn't like she was going, ah, fuck, you're crazy. She was just kind of denying what she seemed to already knew, and she was denying the fact that she knew that I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt. Um, because one thing we knew, her and I knew each other very, very well. It's almost fair to say, to some degree, that we knew each other so well that that's possibly a major factor as to why we never got along, because we just weren't mature enough and self-aware enough to handle having that kind of an intimate knowledge of someone's inner self. We just couldn't deal. And uh, you know, it was almost like we were soulmates that just crossed at the absolute worst time in our lives, and in the absolute worst phases of our own individual self growth, and then that became the base for our relationship to grow from. You've heard me say that before, man. When if the base of something is bullshit, then it's just to be expected that bullshit's going to grow from it. You know, you can't expect something beautiful and positive to grow from a nasty base. And she was nasty, and I was nasty. I was a very angry individual. She was a very angry individual. Uh, I feel like I was was a bit faster, a bit ahead of her when it came to. I don't know what she's like now. I don't know. It's none of my business. But I feel like I was, and maybe that's just vanity. Maybe that's just me being vain and being egotistical right now, and feeling that way. But I I felt like I was just a little bit ahead of her when it came to uh, wanting to improve my own personal growth, um, and really focusing on that, and really trying to self-reflect and make changes. Um, and this glare thing didn't even hit me uh, until her and I had already stopped interacting with each other altogether. Um, but my son is so much like me, and yet he's actually a lot better. I spent the last couple of years very, very, just disappointed in his actions, and wishing that he would make better decisions, and just hoping that he would make better decisions than I made. But the truth is, overall, he has made better decisions than I made when I was his age. I was a lot worse when I was his age. I made terrible decisions, and he's just not making good decisions. I was making terrible decisions. His decisions could be a lot better. So in hindsight, he's doing a lot better than I was doing, and I'm having a hard time. I'm learning little by little as we communicate now. I'm learning little by little how to be a little bit more accepting of his actions and what he's doing, and just trying to just be. I just want to be overwhelmed with pride for him, because he is a beautiful young man, and I believe that right now, and I have actually shared these great Glera principles with him, and he sounds to me like he's taken it to heart to some degree. He just has that natural, our dynamic, man. He has that natural, uh, that natural instinct to go against his parent, you know, and that's absolutely understandable. That's completely and totally understandable. That's just called being a teenager. That's called being a that's that's called a father son relationship, especially when, I mean, me being uh, 44 years old, uh, being a father at 25, and still never have making the traditional right choices that somebody would make when they become a parent, as far as how they would lead their life. I mean, I'm just now starting to do that. I'm just now starting to do that. Um, so it's pretty incredible. So it's, um, learning to have that, learning to learning to realize that you have, that every experience is a learning experience, and then trying to make a conscious effort to have gratitude for each situation, for each scenario that you're presented with, as a learning experience. It's a challenging thing to do, but it's proven for me to become very, very rewarding more than anything else. Um, so I'm having a lot of fun with that. I'm having a lot of fun with that. So to go back to my point, um, that's all this Oni situation is, man. That's all that Oni situation is for all the people that were affected negatively by this person. I mean, this is a guy, that needs help, not enabling, because that's the kind of help that he's trying to get from other people, that he's making a conscious effort to get from, is not helping him. Enabling is very, very different than help, and he's seeking enabling, and then every time he has sought enabling from somebody, and has done it under the guise of it being help, uh, those people end up with the shit end of the stick. So, um, I'm here to say that once you've gotten to that point where you say, I've done everything I can do, and you realize that that it's now a question of this person finding finding the strength to realize that they need help, and they need to seek it. Um, it's also very, very, very much okay to realize that it's not your responsibility. It's not on you. It's not on me. This motherfucker needs to go to jail. That's the truth. The truth is, this motherfucker needs to go to jail. He needs to face the consequences of his actions. Because now, what's happening right now is you've got an entire community right now just gunning for this dude to as far as gathering evidence of the things that he's being accused of, and building a case so you can hand it to law enforcement and say, hey, we need this person to be prosecuted. Now, if he doesn't get prosecuted, at the very least, at least now we know that he is a cancer that has been removed from this community. He's not to be trusted. He's not to be trusted. And at this point, with all the evidence that's come out against him, anybody who does trust him, anybody that does trust him, well, whatever happens to them is on them now. I mean, that's fair to say, right? That's fair to say. Whatever happens to them at this point, it's on them. If you sat there and you listened to that audio and you heard that audio and you're listening to the stories from people about how, I mean, what kind of shit was that? This guy supposedly, there was a mother with a missing child, and Jay and Oni and John, uh all see, crane kicks. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's all that's doing right there. What you just did is feeding the monster. There's no need to even bring that person's name up. There's no need to even bring that person's name up in here. We've already fixed the issue. We collectively solved the problem just now. I didn't even have to hit a block button. So that's powerful, man. That's powerful. That's a small little taste, a small little example of how people can come together and create a positive result. Problem solved. You don't give them any attention, you don't give them any energy, and that's it. Because if they feed off energy, what do? You cut it off. Cut it off. Cut off the supply. Don't give it to them. It's your energy to give. You're choosing to give them that. Oh, don't apologize. I'm just making a point. You didn't do nothing wrong. I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying it's what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like it's here we are. The positive result has presented itself. It's up to us to observe it and put it in the bank, right? Doodlebug, very well put. Vanished, not vanquished. And I've said this on my lives before, man. I've said this on my lives before. On the rationality end of the glare, the rationality part of that, when I exercise that part, I there's this fascinating observation that I've made. A fascinating observation I made. Um, and that observation is you don't necessarily have to eject irrational people out of your life. They will remove themselves. Irrationality feeds off other irrationality. That's their way of justifying their behavior. When they behave irrationally, they're doing it to elicit an irrational response from you. So if you fail to provide them with that irrational response, they will seek that elsewhere. I promise you that. They will absolutely seek it elsewhere. They won't come to you for it anymore because you got nothing left to give them. You do have it to give them, you just choose not to give it to them because it's not worth it. You'd rather take that energy and put it towards something positive so that it grows. Yes or no? So I think you guys are fucking fantastic, man. You guys are beautiful. Um and I'm having a real good time tonight. Um I'm gonna be cutting it off pretty soon. Um but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna I'm gonna find another song here to play. Um and uh I'm gonna find another song here to play, and and let you guys chat a little bit in the chat, and and then I'm going to and then I'm going to probably head over to Alicia's live, Science Girls, My Life, My Story, because she's live, and I don't want to go on all night. Um, but I'm yeah, this I'm blown away by how many people showed up. I really appreciate everybody showing up, and I hope everybody had a nice time. I really do. Um, 'Cause I know I had a good time. I absolutely had a fantastic time. Uh, so I am gonna go ahead and say goodnight. And thank you. And I will probably go on again tomorrow night. That's what I'm thinking. Um, I'm probably gonna go ahead on tomorrow night again, and we're gonna talk some more about some of this stuff. But I just wanted to use this opportunity to welcome my new subscribers and listeners, and hopefully you guys are going to be sticking around, and we can develop a nice, beautiful, fun relationship. So I love you guys. Thanks so much. Um, I really, 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 really appreciate you.
Yourself